Yep, should be back. Hey, Lil H, how you doing, my friend? Used cars are a bigger component of core inflation than gasoline is for headline. Oh, wow. It's not mine. Do I have hope that Twitter hits the 5420 once they all agree? Yes. Yes. I feel like that's the ending result. By the way, there was a lot of reports leaked yesterday that said Elon, like what, 2 months ago, something like that, had approached Twitter about cutting down the price. Twitter said no. Then Elon approached him again, cutting down the price. Twitter said no. Twitter would not negotiate. Correct. It's not mine. Correct. We don't know when. Here's the thing, though. Next week, by the 10th or 11th, the Elon deposition has to be completed. So if he is trying to buy it to avoid, then he basically doesn't have a lot of time. So say Twitter closes tomorrow morning, Elon buys. What happens to calls? I believe they get exercised and sold at the price. So you have to talk to your broker. I'm not the right person to ask that question to. But my understanding is that's what happens. Steely Hands points out cars, new and used, are bigger components of core than the entire energy basket is for headline. That's interesting. I didn't know that was the case. They definitely are doing the best job of their lives. MB Tosca, I think you're right. Hey, Fig, how you doing, my friend? Alphabet. So Google's cloud CEO Thomas Kurian on the 4 trends in cloud computing. Still early, lots of growth ahead. New markets, i.e., AI and cybersecurity now, are greater than just migrating workloads. Many factors driving growth are where Google has strength. Multi-cloud is real. Yep. Ms. Garrison, you think rents shelter will keep driving up headline CPI going forward because it's so delayed? Yeah, I would agree with that. But at the same time, you have all these other factors that may be causing it to go down. The question is the lag factors on housing and shelter basically going to outdo the combination of like energy, commodities, and used new and used cars? You're going to regret not loading up on Google at 95 because you were short on cash? Don't beat yourself up. 2 o'clock algo just got turned on. So we dumping? 'We still haven't taken out the overnight lows. Okay, that's what matters. Does it? Yeah, what were the overnight lows? 373.5 major resistance or support. All right. And the fact that we came close to it but bounced off of it, doesn't that matter? Crackhead. Is AMD a long-term play? Absolutely. How will Xilinx factor into the stock price? I don't know. Here's the thing about Xilinx. Xilinx is a part of their embedded segment, okay? So Xilinx plays a lot heavier into data centers, and it also plays heavily into industrial and edge applications. That's a new area for AMD, like edge. That's going to be a new growth area for AMD. So Xilinx is actually growing incredibly fast. I don't know what it does in terms of stock price. I don't know how much the market really gives a shit. I mean, AMD, the whole thing is undervalued right now. It really is. Xilinx, though, is really interesting because it opens up the ability of AMD to do a lot more like true custom computing solutions. Does that make sense? I mean, Xilinx is basically custom accelerators, FPGAs. You saw Mobileye, you want to buy? Interesting. I think Qualcomm in the future will kick their ass. The thing that always makes me snicker about Mobileye, they get acquired by Intel. They don't use x86 architecture. x86 is Intel's architecture. They use ARM. So you mean buy them for their IPO? Mobileye will be one of the biggest IPOs, by the way, of the year. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Either way, Intel needs the money. Yep, so the Twitter deal resolution with Elon Musk reportedly hit a snag on debt contingency. That's fine. You think it forces Intel to start moving away from x86? Interesting. Intel's made efforts before to do ARM, by the way. It just didn't work out. There's not been a lot of IPOs. Is the SPY going to die? I mean, SPY's been well behaved, I think. Reina, this deal is going to take 2 years. No, it will not. I assure you, no, it will not. Push comes to shove. I mean, by the way, do you guys know what happens if the judge rules against Elon and he wants to and he wants to actually what's it called? Appeal it? Do you know what happens? He has to put up $44 billion for a bond. If he loses and he tries to appeal, time is not on his side because he has to give the court $44 billion. I actually think he has to do the full bond. I've heard someone say it's actually the full bond in this case. It's not collateral. Milwaukee Blizzard. So when Musk sent the latest letter to Twitter agreeing to buy it, he was trying to get sneaky by adding the debt contingency. I don't think so. I don't think so. Out of my gourd, when am I making plans to switch to YouTube? I don't know. Keep in mind, guys, if I switched over to YouTube, I'm not monetized there. With all due respect, I'd be starting all over, not making any money. You think we see a choppy close as people gamble on non-farm payrolls positioning? Sounds about right. Windmaster. Someone say bonds? Yeah, Musk wants to waste time arguing with people on Twitter about Ukraine. Yeah. Philip Midnight. Why is Twitter not trading at 52.20? Because people still perceive risk. Go to Rumble. November VIX 45s. Interesting. I wonder if it's downside protection or not. The VIX feels broken. I know it's not, but it feels dumb. It's not been behaving. Oh, wow. Hold on. Take a look at Amazon for a second. Take a look at Google for a second. Steely, you hearing about this? Tech legislation appears dead and the congressional finger pointing has begun. Both sides of the aisle are blaming big tech for a failure to vote on bills seeking to limit large tech companies' power. Hey, Kinzo Kushi. People on YouTube and Twitch say that Twitch has less lag, so better for time sensitive viewers. Yeah, almost certainly. Besides which, guys, I am looking at YouTube. I don't want YouTube to be just video on demand of what I've already said. I actually want to do like pre created content. Too much pussy talk, yeah. Is Rumble the gay matchmaking app? No. Although, yes, it could be, but no. Yeah, W Joe, that's the great thing about IV is that, yeah, even though the price of Twitter is going down, you're not seeing a lot of movement necessarily on the calls because the volatility goes up. All tea leaves, that's correct. Yeah, he paid 160 million to add that last 20 cents for a joke. What a joke it was. Elon is that guy. Yeah. All I could sit there and say is there's a lot of people. Remember, the going rate for a hand job to Elon Musk is a horse. And I see a lot of people on Twitter doing it for free. They are beating his dick for nothing. Nothing. Now, how much is a horse again? Horses are expensive. They're not cheap. It's my way of saying if you get a chance to give a hand job to Elon Musk for a pony, you should do that. I like this. Twitter will never agree to a debt contingent settlement. If Elon wants this settled, he'll get past this. Yep. Prometheum, how is Micron finding its $100 billion investment in New York? I'll give you a hint. It's over a long period of time. Thank you, Sandroid. I appreciate that. first time chat. You appreciate the conversation. I have a lot of smart people in chat. That's the advantage. Hey, Whiskey Jack Black, how you doing? But yeah, Prometheum. I'll sit there and say this much. I think using the words 100 billion in investment is not kind of accurate. It's a long, long, long time. I think the actual time frame is like 20 years, something like that. The other thing to keep in mind is I think what they were including is not just quote capex, it's capex and opex. So basically, that when they say 100 billion, they're thinking in terms of not just like building a facility, but they're talking about all the upkeep, all the people, all the operational costs, etc. So I do not think they're going to be paying anything close to 100 billion. Fuck no. Why does no one question the 2% target when inflation has averaged 3.3% for the past century? Even without pandemic years, year over year, CPI averaged 3.2%. That's a really interesting question. Windmaster, Micron spent like $9 billion on CapEx each of the past 4 years. Not unusual. Last year, it was $11 billion. I think the average, Windmaster, you're getting caught up on. Micron underinvested probably the first 2 years of that because they had to catch up, essentially with EUV manufacturing on memory. So no, I spoke about that last year. So like Micron dramatically upped their capex the last 2 years, and a lot of that was them getting like bodied by ASML, charging them up front on EUV tools. And Bitaska, the reason that I pulled up the mega caps is because supposedly there's a piece of legislation being considered that would kind of hamstring some of the mega caps, and apparently the bill died in Congress. Hey Penny, how you doing? 500 bits. Thank you very much for the port divvy. How you been doing today, Penny? Has oil been treating you well? How is oil doing? Rotation to energy. Ooh, Brent's starting to move. Yeah. Look at ExxonMobil. This morning, I actually bought XLE and I already sold it. Holy shit. My God. It's not mine. Why sell? Just because I want the money. Listen, this has not been a good year for me in the market. When I have hundreds percents of gains, I'm just going to fucking take it. Ironically, here's the thing. You guys saying, why sell? Like, why sell the calls? I sold over here. I can always just buy back. Yeah, I still have my shares. They're not going anywhere. My shares are still happy. Lidmaster, you want to know what happened to the Department of Justice suing Google in September? The report was leaked in September, but they weren't talking about it until like either Q4 this year or Q1 next year. No, I should sell calls. I should. You're right. Penny, what's going on Twitter? FUD. FUD. Straightforward FUD. People are insinuating. Apparently, there's reports going around now. Yeah. The Musk Twitter resolution said to stick on debt contingency issue. There is no debt contingency issue. Basically, Elon's trying to slow things down, and Twitter's like, fine, then we're gonna go to court, and you're gonna fucking lose. Cash secured puts, free money. There's no such thing as free money, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as free money. Let me explain what that means. There's always a chance of some fuckery. I mean, look at all the people posting shit like, oh, Elon's just going to get the banks to back out and then he can walk away. Is there any real reason we shouldn't buy Twitter? I've bought more. Look at UAN, happily. Ask Bezos' wife. Oh! Bulldog, everyone's pushing our buttons in the US is weak. Yeah, I know. Am I still holding? Yes, I'm still holding my mic run. UAN, ugh. This is low volume stock. Penny says UAN options are not very liquid. This is, I mean, you've had 57,000 shares traded today. This is not a liquid stock. Steely Hands. Bloomberg article says Musk is also seeking to reserve the right to file a fraud suit. They can go fuck themselves. God damn. If Levi's could fill this gap to say 1560, like, I don't know if Levi's is going to do shitty, but they're pricing it, yeah. Yeah, Windmaster, the Tampa market's fucking stupid. Florida real estate's fucking stupid in general, but Tampa in particular. You tempted to buy Twitter shares? I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. I still feel confident he's losing this case. No, Spencer. No. Here's the thing, guys. Twitter has a poison pill still enacted. If Elon tries to buy shares on the open market, Twitter immediately can issue more shares. Frugal, you honestly think Levi's will do bad? Their jeans are pretty overpriced with everyone buying fast fashion and such. The brand of Levi's has been eroded. You do know what brands Levi's owns, right? A lot of times when you are buying other pairs of jeans, you are buying Levi's. Keep that in mind. Yeah, Woodmaster, I would never go back to Tampa. I hated fucking Tampa. Moving my parents out of Tampa was my happiest day. Getting them the fuck out. But yeah, Levi's owns a lot more than just Levi's. I'll say that much. Yeah, maybe if Levi. Anyway, I'm not going to play this one. Someone asked my thoughts on Air. I have a bunch of shares for them, even in my degenerate account. Their earnings are tonight. I like them. Here's the thing for Air. All right. This is when they announced a new customer. They are back to basically before they announced a new customer. More importantly, we've had no financial information. There's no fucking way they're not guiding up revenue. Their revenue has to go up. Does it matter? I don't know. Good question. This stock trades like a meme. Keep that in mind. But I like the company. But notice something. I don't have any calls. I just have shares. And I'll spell them SHAER. Shares of air. Yeah, people were begging for air to go back down. Well, people were dogging me for air for a while. And then air went right back the fuck up. Shares. But yeah. Yeah. Shut up, all man. Guys, you know what happens to plays Jays likes but doesn't play. All in on air calls. Black Raven, why no calls? Because I remember what happened last time. This market doesn't need an excuse for any single stock to go down. Period. It doesn't need any excuse. We thank you for your service, my friend. You sold calls. Twitter should remoon. We appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. I have not watched the GME doc. I'm halfway through The Prince, the podcast on Xi Jinping. It's excellent. It's Fat Bear Week. Oh, I fucking love Fat Bear Week. Oh my god. Okay. You. Ooh, Walker. That one's yeah. Oh my god. It's so interesting to see like bears when they first come out of like hibernation, they're all skinny. And then they have to get fat. Fucking love it. Yeah, I love the bears. No, not you guys. What the hell is Fat Bear Week? Up in Alaska, they do Fat Bear Week. It's exactly as it sounds. They have tracking devices on all the bears. And so they'll take pictures and post it online, and people get to vote for who the fattest bear is. It's great. It's amazing. It's like Shark Week, yeah. How do they get fat? Salmon. On berries and grass. Usually it's salmon, though, for these bears. Now, if you want to get really interesting, is that Holly? This bear ate one of the other bear's cubs. I know that much. 747 takes peds. Yeah, where is he? Is he alive still? Wow. Elk babies, my man, they eat the shit out of those. Yeah, but these bears tend to do the most damage on salmon. There's literally a what's it called? There's like a cam. They have a stream cam set up right at one of the rivers they're most notorious for going to, and you can just go on it and watch the bears just devour salmon all fucking day. Yeah, Brooks Falls, that's what it's called. Yeesh, that one got your vote. Yeah. Yeah, Garfo. It's not all summer. There's only a specific set time, so they have to like engorge themselves. They have to devour. Yeah. But this is, what's it called? Katmai in Alaska. 8 versus bear. A bear would win, absolutely. Depends on the bear. A black bear versus like a silverback gorilla, it's probably going to go to the gorilla. Because black bears are generally speaking the smallest. But like polar bear will tear them apart every time. And Cape Cod Flats. Fat Bear Week is something else here on the Cape. Yep. Bless their hearts. We will be running a poll in the spy. We got 30 minutes. It is a boring day. Gorillas are like Batman. They just need to prepare the terrain. They can beat any land walking animal. That's interesting. Milwaukee Blizzard. Bear versus Orca. Orca. Every day. If the bear is in the water, the orca, if it wants to, can absolutely kill it. You just got the first set of the iPhone Pros. Wow. Pro Max is running late. Interesting. Twitter must have gotten counter FUD. That's because you sold. We are grateful. Orcas are a top predator of moose. True statement. There are islands up in Canada where the moose are walking in between them, and orca have learned this. But what if the orcas on land? Give more caffeine. I actually think orcas are essentially a former, like, if you take the genealogy of orcas back, apparently they're connected to hippos. Orcas are at one point, like historically, I think they were like them and hippos, I think, have the same ancestor. Yeah, can I just turn the rest of the day into an orca stream? I'd be really happy if I could. Just talk orcas, nonstop orcas. Tiger versus bear. Penny, we know the answer to this. We know the answer to this. Tigers. Specifically in India, you have areas in which Bengal tigers and sloth bears exist in the same area. And one of the bigger pieces of the tiger's diet is sloth bears. They kill them. Orcas are the bomb. I love orcas. It's a true story. For anyone who doesn't know, I fucking love orcas. Jay versus Elon, me, every day. He's bigger than me, though. They will not harm humans. Well, they never found evidence. Tiger versus lion, tiger. Well, hold on. Presume one-on-one, tiger. Tigers are the biggest of the big cats. The reason I say presume one-on-one is tigers are solitary. Lions are actually pack hunters. Hippos have the highest body count in the world. Not true. By a technicality. Lalbad, what animal does have the highest body count? You know this. Come on. Yep. Correct. The mosquito. Mosquitoes. I know. It's unfair. But yes, in Africa, the number one killer is hippos. Hippos kill more people than lions. Let's take a moment to go check out what our friends over at Hardcore Nature, what are they doing today? Lion Cub eats the remains of his fallen father, starting off strong. Oh, this is always pleasant to see. A pack of African wild dogs catch and tear apart a warthog. Yeah, I love wild dogs. By the way, I'm pretty sure I've already seen this. You're not going to see it come apart. Yeah. Wild dogs are amazing for their size. They still manage to pull off being very successful at hunting. Oh, and here's a mink versus a brown rat. Bye-bye, rat. Wild dogs. Shut up, Penny. I love wild dogs too. This is hardcore nature. There's also nature is metal. Mobile horse, I know the answer. Why do wild animals start eating from the ass in every documentary? It's the point of least resistance. It's the point of least resistance. If you can make a small hole in a beanbag, you can tear it open. Well, imagine if a beanbag already has a small hole. That's why you start with the ass. Wild dogs are amazingly effective. Oh, heron versus a soft-shell turtle. Great horned owl, American crow. Yes, I did see the Komodo, which tore the dare fetus out. Yeah, that's impressive. Let me pull up our good friends, orcas. Mm, look at this. There's this area in Patagonia, Argentina, in which the way the beach is, it basically goes deep, deep, deep really quickly to shallow. And it's got a special type of like peb, like a rocky beach. So the orcas there have learned to put themselves on land basically to catch baby seals. The harpy eagle, oh yeah. Hyenas are closer to cats and dogs. That's true. True statement. Female hyenas have huge fake penises. That's technically true. Yeah. If you guys ever want an interesting story, know this. Obligate, what's it called? Obligate fratricide. Is that the term for it? Basically, hyenas, when they give birth to a litter of puppies, first of all, first-time mothers have a really high fatality rate. Really high fatality rate. But once they have like a litter of kids, oftentimes the siblings will kill each other. Did I subscribe to zoo books? No. Rats almost killed all of the Euro, more prolific than mosquitoes. To be fair, it was the flea. It was the brown flea on the brown rat. Yep, orcas do kill white sharks by eating their livers. Yeah. No. Orcas are stupidly smart. That's what insults me the most about SeaWorld. I don't think there's an appreciation. Like, if we wanted to see killer whales do backflips and shit for us, they probably would have done it anyway. Look at this. Wait for it. Wait for it. Here's a seal. Oh, they're trying to smack him. There we go. Look at the seal go. That's a few 100 pounds. And down. Penny, if I had to die by any animal, which would it be? Probably a great white shark. It would be really quick. Put it this way, it would not be by a pack of wild dogs. I'll say that much. That would suck. Roosters at your farm will kill rattlesnakes? Yep. Why are all the smartest animals in the ocean? To stay the fuck away from us. Remember, we'll hunt them down. People are slapping the ass on puts, but market's not dying. Super strange. It's almost as though the market exists to fuck with them. Is the VIX breaking out? Yeah, if retail's buying puts, that's not bearish. Retail's dumb. They might be right, but I wouldn't bet on it. What is the plunge protection team? I guess it's some supposed function that exists to... Oh, dollar index has jumped up a bit. Yeah, what? The plunge protection team supposedly is a group to make sure there's still like market stability. I don't know how true that is, by the way. Yeah, dollar index just started going up. No, it's not. I'm wrong. Let's see, VIX. VIX futures moving up. You're caffeine. Yeah, I did see that tweet which talked about the rally being attributable to one single trade. Then I've also this morning seen a lot of people who are like what, 30 million was the premium? No way it was a trade that big, like that size rather, going to move the entire market. I think the market's been relatively well behaved. And what happens if overnight the Central Bank of China starts selling dollars? Working group on financial markets. Honestly, did not know this existed. I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories around it, though, that I don't know if they're all correct. Like conspiracy theories insisting like this is what stops. Like I don't know if that's the case. Penny, it's interesting if you go back to like the 1910s, like the original railroad crash, and like some of the original stock market crashes. Literally, there used to be a group of people who, if they saw the market going down in a panic, they would publicly step in and buy a lot to provide security. Kimbo, why will they sell dollars? To boost their own currency. They'll sell the dollar and buy the yuan. That'll push the value of the yuan up. It actually basically causes them to import deflation. Correct, Webmaster. You don't need plunge protection team when you have circuit breakers. Penny Ether plunge protection team shorting oil for sure. I bet you that's the oil, like all the oil like Q bears think. They're always like, no. How come the world won't go to shit so we can make money on our oil calls? Yep. God. Oil bulls are such an interesting group. What happened to AMD? They were doing so well this morning. I sold my calls early. I had good timing too. I was talking to some of you in Discord. I had good fucking timing. Yeah, Whiskey Jack Black. PowerPoint. Those damn apes. Apes not using PowerPoint. What's killing Dow more than the others? The Dow in particular, I am willing to bet financials. Financials are not doing well. United Healthcare and Johnson & Johnson are not doing well. Mega caps are just kind of, I think that's what's happening. Dig, your view is that oil bulls are probably good hate fucks? No. We have to distinguish. There's a difference. So keep in mind, long term, I'm an oil bull. I'm an oil bull. However, you have a certain percentage of just like any group, a certain percentage of people are fucking nuts. And oil bulls have a lot of those, like any other group. They're very loud. And that's the problem. Like, there's a whole bunch of people who like, for example, people who are like, you know, why are we using the SPR? Oh, really? Oil prices or gas prices basically hit a record, and that's not an excuse to use it? What the fuck do you think it exists for, huh? Come on. Yep, VIX is moving up. Canadian oil guys on Twitter are so far right. Yes. The SPR release is bad when it's blue colored. Yes. And that's fine. The Dixie's breaking out. That means Spy's in trouble, guys. Should mean the Spy's in trouble. Hey, Nadisi, how you doing, my friend? It's so good to be a bear. Is it? On some days, yeah. I'm not trying to say the dollar is breaking out. The Dixie's not breaking out. I've got the dollar index at 112. It was higher than that just like, what, an hour ago. It's starting to move up, though. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on. The VIX is more interesting to me. Why did we rally this week? Because Credit Suisse? No. I'm assuming the reason that we rallied was everything to do with, it was very mechanical. The dollar started going down, mainly because maybe it was the EU or the Bank of England intervention. But yeah. No, it was Jack Black. Credit Suisse, not Computer Share. But yeah. Notice like we had big moves on the 10-year and big moves in the Dixie going down, both of them. And then all of a sudden the market just went ape shit up. That's why. CSAE, we did talk air briefly. I'm bullish on their earnings, but I'm only playing with shares. Well played, Nadizi. Well played. On doubling your portfolio. Well played. And Ether, one cautionary note. I keep hearing a lot of people saying, like, this is pivot, this is pivot. I'm only hearing it from bears. I'm yet to hear someone make a credible argument on the bull side that this is all for a pivot. Instead, what I've been hearing is the dollar's going down. All right. Risk-free premiums going down. That pushes the inherent value of the market up. Put it this way. We are still trading at the SPY at 373. All right. Remember, when we got Jackson Hole, we were right around 420. Air, I think it's like 405 or 410, something like that. And we'll be sticking around for that. Yeah, Woodmaster, you think we got the dollar reprieve because Europe decided to be less shitty temporarily. Yep, that's true. All right, here's the crucial part, guys. 373.50. Caffeine called this out earlier. This was the overnight lows. Do we drop below that? And we did. Boom. And what the VIX do? VIX is still going up. How do we respond? Do we drop underneath 373? Because then it could be some fun spy puts. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Who's the author of that? Is that Kobasi guy? Yeah, Kiyosaki. That's right. Yeah, that fucking guy. Oh, I love watching people shit talk him. It's great. Yep, VIX is still under 30. I see. Kielbasa. Ooh, we just dropped to 372. Am I playing air earnings? I have a bunch of shares. I have a bunch of shares. I did see that bear steal the Amazon package. Yeah, the bears are targeting Amazon now. Oh, savages. See what Twitter's doing. Yep, relatively behaved. One more dip, Twitter, please. Yeah. Yep. Twitter don't care at SPY. Yeah. Oh, it does. Yep. Twitter is divorced from the rest of the SPY, theoretically. See if the SPY shows any heart. You're scaling into some SPY December puts. Probably not a bad strategy. Make SPY green? No. Nope. I'm just checking VIX futures. Oh, Zirconium, what happened to the SPY was you were gone for 20 minutes, and the SPY, well, it took that personally. It was not happy with you, my friend. All right, did anyone catch Constellation Brands earnings? Because I saw some really weird numbers that were put up on TD Ameritrade. Yeah, this is an alcohol company. I like that. Cannabis has cost Constellation Brands over $1 billion. Yeah. Shitty Bank is the European Credit Suisse. Is it, Windmaster? I thought that was Wells Fargo. I thought people had always mocked them. Why is WWE being so weird lately? You bought calls in case of acquisition. I think a WWE acquisition makes a lot of sense, actually. Game American, yeah. City had so many fuck of. Has it had more fuck ups than Wells Fargo? I think Wells Fargo leads the pack. You got to assume, right? That VIX just did a little. The VIX futures just did a little bit of a drop. Dollar index is still going pretty strong though. They used to be as big as J.P. Morgan. Okay. Anyway, folks, I will be right back. I need to get my food so I can come back and run um the prediction. So I'll be right back, guys. Okay, folks. The pivot point will be 373. 373 is the pivot point, my friends. Get your bets in now. You have 2 minutes. If you do not see it, please refresh. Ultimately, SPY's been glued to this level for the past couple days. We had always said, I mean, I think you may have been the one that pointed out as well, the greatest way for this market to fuck with people is to stay flat. It's to not pick a direction. Dollar index is rising. VIX futures, they've been rising. So that would kind of explain why the market's done a bit of a swoon. Twitter did a big knee jerk. Yeah, it did. Good. I'm going to make some more money on Twitter, it looks like. What the fuck just happened with Twitter? Did people finally understand that Elon doesn't have the ability? Let's see. No, that's not anything new. Any new Twitter news? The close expected the 28th of October. Did that just come out? Okay. Elon says he's willing to close Twitter deal at 54.20 on October 28th. Oh boy. Defendants, yeah. $910 million, I assume, not billion, right? That'd be a little bit too high. Yeah, looks like Twitter just went then a little bit down. Come on, go back up. You made it up. All right, fair enough. Windmaster, you bought 700 shares of Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, for anybody that's new here, Twitter is the gem that keeps giving. Almost 1 million just came in. Oh, wow. To 1021, $110 calls and $112 calls for 3M. What do they know? There's a big legislation piece for this company. I'm not touching them. I know a bunch of people played them earlier and got fucking wrecked, which was bullshit. Bye. New post on VTards. Understanding spiders could make you a better trader. I'll try to shake you and slap you. That's how I get through to so many people. Blah, blah. Debate, writing this and putting this out there. I'm going to read this one later because anytime someone puts forth the effort for a long post, I do want to see it. But it seems like an interesting post. So I'll check it out later. You think he's the Brontosaurus guy? Interesting. By the way, guys, move to stay the action. Remove the October 17th trial based on changed circumstance that have mooted the action. Defendants, see, the court has ordered an expedite on sole applicant claim for release, specifically on the obligations of the merger agreement, consummate the closing, court's transaction agreement. Defendants have agreed, they've stated they are willing to close transaction. The debt financing parties are working cooperatively to fund the close, and closing is expected on or around October 28th. Guys, there's significance to this. October 28th. October 28th matters. Let's go to our good friend Gary Black. That date matters. That date matters. Where is it? Where is it? Is this where you talked about it? No. Elon supposedly can't sell until after the next earnings because they're currently in blackout. So unless he had, so let's see. Elon could sell if he filed a 10b5-1 trading plan before Tesla trading window closed September 16th. Without that being the case, he has to wait until after earnings. So I think it's like, what, October 18th or something? So yeah, that could be interesting. That may mean Elon is getting ready to eventually sell. He may need to sell more Tesla stock. Earnings season really kicks off next week. Financials tend to be first in the cycle. Financials are next week. President Biden to pardon all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. Well played. The dank Brandon's coming out to play. W. Joe. So I don't know. Check with your broker. I don't know. What is going on Twitter now? There's a lot of statements being put out now. Supposedly, Elon's offered to finish the transaction October 28th. Supposedly, the deal, though, has struck a nerve with debt contingency, which I don't know. I don't know why it's a big deal. Biden announced the pardons and the first steps towards decriminalization. A few of us have talked in the past about the idea of, quote, not dark Brandon, dank Brandon, using this as a ploy to help pull more midterm participation voting from younger people. Yeah, mobile horse, exactly. Did easy. So Tesla 230. I don't know. If he has to sell more shares, I don't know. It's a meme stock. I hate playing puts on meme stocks, man. Musk falling out a window, visiting Russia. Yeah, apparently no one expected Biden to talk about weed. Biden start blazing the J's, and then all of a sudden MOS goes up. One for me. I think I know what this one is, Lil H. I think I know what this one is. The block. Yeah, I've seen this. $1 billion breakup fee. Yep. Musk is also seeking to reverse his rights to file a fraud suit over his claim that the platform's executives misled him and other investors about the number of spam and robot accounts. Imagine that. I like this. Matt Levine says it's going to be so good when Musk continues to sue Twitter once he owns it. Rad, no, I don't think I did. Okay, from President Biden. As I've said before, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. Today, I'm taking steps to end our failed approach. Allow me to lay them out. First, I'm pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. Thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities. My pardon will remove this burden. Second, I'm calling on governors to pardon simple state marijuana possession offenses. Just as no one should be in a federal prison solely for possessing marijuana, no one should be in a local jail or state prison for that reason either. Third, we classify marijuana at the same level as heroin and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. I agree with this, by the way. I'm asking Secretary Baccara and the Attorney General to initiate the process of reviewing how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. That's important. Dark Brandon's going to float to re-election on a cloud of smoke. Semis are fab. Even 200 bits. Greatly appreciated. MSOS halted. Ask is 420. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm, I have seen this. Oh, Twitter's moving up now. How's the spy doing? Is the spy going to show some heart? Let's see. You just bought some Tilray? Nice. God damn. Look at it. God damn it, Caffeine. What the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you miss the poll? Penny, what are the downside risks to Twitter right now? Deal doesn't go through. Basically, global financial crisis that causes like Morgan Stanley to go under. But why wouldn't the deal go through? Essentially that. Unless there's some secret like emails that he already has access to that prove that Twitter knew the MDAU number was false, there's nothing. Who knew news on weed could cause a... Nothing is more on brand for this year, my friend. Nothing is more on brand. We're still not getting... Oh, that's big volume. Opinion on the Activision Blizzard merger. It's a bit tougher because that one's got a legit problem, which is publishing power. Microsoft having power over both Xbox Live and having Blizzard's BattleNet may give them too much publishing power. It's not about their ability to create video games. It's their ability to distribute other people's video games. That might be the interesting challenge. The Bury Prison stock still doing... Actually been doing really well recently. Yeah. I have some stops on my Boyle. It must have triggered. Yeah, I had stops on Boyle, so I made money on Boyle, but I already sold out of it today. Reddit swap. Is there any downside to Biden invading Belarus from Polish soil after Belarus forces are spotted in Ukraine? It would not be a positive, I assume. By the way, I'm loving all the pictures being snapped from Biden and DeSantis in Florida. And they're not catching DeSantis's good side, and I assume that's intentional. DeSantis has a good side. I assume he actually does. I don't know to what degree DeSantis is truly an asshole or if he just does a good job of playing one on TV. You're so excited for the elections. I can't wait for like the real next presidential election. Midterms are kind of boring. Theaters partnering with Netflix for premieres. Actually, I kind of like that. That's kind of smart. I'm on Twitter. Netflix will play Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery during Thanksgiving before online release. Wow, that is interesting. Senate is the only interesting thing this year. How about Herschel Walker? What the fuck? Someone want to tell Lone Ranger? Weed stocks are popping because Biden just pardoned all like weed offenders federally and is asking Secretary of Health and Human Services Bakara to go through and potentially look at how it's classified federally. Yep, Rad, I saw that. The tweet from his son saying he cheated on his wife, beat his kid, and forced them to fall and to flee in fear. Yep. Dank Brandon is what's happening. Gingrich's comment on Herschel about his regardedness. Well, he's had a lot of concussions. Yeah. Imagine this, guys. You have an election, all right? An election in which, on one side, you have a guy who's now credibly accused of fathering women out of wedlock, paying for an abortion, domestic abuse. On the other side, you have a Christian preacher. Yeah. Guess which one the conservatives are behind? Makes no fucking sense. But football. Best thing about Herschel Walker was the trade. Dallas traded him away and got multiple championships on that. The greatest fleecing. Yeah, but he's a socialist. He's not a socialist, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, go Rebs. You're one of the biggest Republicans. Conservatives, not Republicans. Conservatives. Yeah. I mean, what the fuck, Republicans? Did you guys stop vetting candidates? Here's my argument as to why you know former President Obama was born in the United States. All right? If he was truly born overseas and eligible, and he went up against the Clinton apparatus, they would have known day one, and they would have leaked it day two. Herschel Walker managed to get through Republican primaries, and none of his opponents knew about this? What the fuck? That's the problem. I blame the Republican opponents. How come they didn't know this? Yeah. Yep, he was born overseas, yep. They didn't stop vetting, the requirements shifted. I mean, Herschel Walker is a fucking disaster. All of Herschel's opponents also had abortion.